I hope you never get discouraged when the thing you're wanting to manifest doesn't show up. Like I said, I've been desiring this lifestyle for years, probably since 2020. I feel like that's when a lot of our perspectives changed and a lot of us realized we wanted different things out of life. But it's taken 3 years for this to really fall into place. So please never get discouraged. What you are desiring is also desiring you, and it is working its way towards you. Your job is to just stay in alignment as much as you can, set those intentions, and then get out of your own way. Don't self-sabotage. Don't worry about it too much. I mean, within reason, we're human, right? Things are going to happen. But just let life come to you and do not get discouraged. Let my life in this example be inspiration to you that things just take time. Some things just take time, and I have so much compassion for you if you're in a job that you hate or if you're not getting that thing that you're wanting. So much compassion. Just try to keep moving up that emotional scale. Keep following the little breadcrumbs, keep following the excitement, and do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on your alignment, as cheesy as that sounds. Do not give up on the things that you are desiring, because they are desiring you too. Welcome to Alignment Adventures. This is a podcast where we explore what it means to live a fulfilling, aligning, and present life. I'm your host, Lindsay Tanner, and I am so grateful that you are here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another episode of Alignment Adventures. I am so grateful and excited that you are here with me today. I'm coming to you with a last minute, off the cuff, unplanned episode, but as always, I let my internal guidance guide me, and I'm here to talk about a pretty major life update, which I've been so excited to tell you all about, but I had to make sure we told all the people that needed to know first, and I think it is finally time, and it is flowing, and it's perfect, because I was like, I'm not sure what I want to share this week, and then I was like, you know what? It's time to update everyone about what is going on in Lindsay and Steven and Arlo's life. And a lot of you may already know what we're about to do, and that's totally okay. You can choose to listen or not, but I just want to take you through how this unfolded, how this flowed, because it truly flowed so magically, so seamlessly, which is a good example of a lot of the things I talk about on here. And I love when my life can be an example of the concepts I talk on here, because I say this all the time. It's so easy to talk about these things, but to see them and to implement them can be tricky sometimes. And having that trust and surrender and setting your intentions and realizing you are the creator of your life, it's just so beautiful to watch unfold. And I hope you guys are witnessing little synchronicities and little pieces of magic happen in your life from, really starting to live this way. So go ahead and get your coffee if you have not already, or a drink of choice, and let's sit down and I'll just update you on all the things. So I've got my coffee here. I've got a water. I need both because, man, we have just had some sicknesses over here at the Tanner household. Like I said, I had COVID, and then after that, we've all had this sinusy thing. So if you can tell that in my voice, it is what it is at this point. I may have to stop and clear my throat a few times, and that's okay. I'll try to cut that out if I can. So let's get right into it. So honestly, I feel like besides announcing that I was having Arlo, or maybe even, our engagement, I don't know. This feels even bigger than that, even though having a baby is a huge, massive life change, probably the biggest life change you could go through. This is right up there with huge life changes. And to some of you, this may not surprise you, because I've been talking about this a lot. And this is something I've had in my vortex, as Abraham Hicks would say, trying to manifest and been desiring for a long time. So I hope this is inspiration to you, that if you are trying to manifest something or desiring something, it just takes time and space. A lot of times you just need time and space. And it's really cool to witness the unfolding of those desires. So starting, I guess you could say, officially happening in July, and I'll give you all the details. Stephen, Arlo, and I will be quitting our jobs. We'll be quitting our jobs before then, and living in an RV full time for at least 6 months. I don't know how long. We have a route planned from like July into like December time, and then we'll go home probably for the holidays. And then after that, we don't really want to stay in the Midwest. We're from the Midwest for winter. So we'll probably go down to Florida to visit my dad and some other family down there and just see the state of Florida. I am so excited. As you guys know, I've been manifesting either van life or RV life or that nomadic tiny home on wheels life for a long time. And if you've been a long time listener, you know that Stephen and I actually went on a van trip. It was a year and a half ago-ish. I think it was October 2021, right before I got pregnant with Arlo. And Stephen even came on the podcast and we talked about our van life lessons because honestly, that trip changed our lives. It was hands down probably my favorite vacation I've ever taken or favorite trip I've ever been on. It was one of those trips where I just wanted to experience van life. I'd been watching van life videos. I've been desiring it for a long time. And then to experience it, we just rented a van and went around the Pacific Northwest. It was just like a dream come true. It was hard to believe that this was really my reality. And I loved every second of it, even the highs and lows of van life. And since then, we've just been trying to figure out, okay, how can we do this? Actually do this like on a more long-term, maybe even full-time basis. So let me start from the beginning on how this all flowed. So we went on that trip and then afterwards I ended up getting pregnant with Arlo. So obviously that kind of went on the back burner for a little bit, even though we knew we always wanted to do that full time. And also something else kind of going on in our reality, and I've talked about this before too, is we've had the desire, at least in the last few years, to move on from Phoenix. We moved here, or I moved here in 2017. Stephen moved here in 2018. So I've been here for 6 years now, almost 6 years. And it never felt like my permanent spot. It felt like I was here for a reason, for a stage of my life. And I want to do a whole episode on that because I really feel like the desert in this area and this experience has changed me. It has. It's changed me so much, and I'm a completely different person. I've completely transformed, and I want to share all the specific lessons I've learned in this season. But as you guys know, we've just been like playing around with the idea of leaving Phoenix, and we don't know where we want to go next. We've talked about moving to Colorado. Of course, we've talked about moving back home to the St. Louis area. That's not where I'm from originally, but that is where Stephen and his family lives. We're just pretty open. But in between there, we were always like, we should do RV life for a little bit. So, of course, we put that intention out there, and we're like, we'll just see what flows. So, Stephen's grandpa has been an RVer for a long time. He goes and camps all the time. And he was actually looking to get rid of his RV. I don't know what type of RV it is. I should know, but I don't. I want to say it's a Class C that's coming to my mind. But it is an actual RV. So like it's not a trailer. It's not something you pull behind. It's an actual RV. And he just so happened to be wanting to get rid of his RV. And of course, we want an RV. So we are buying Stephen's grandpa's RV from him. And I just, again, felt like the synchronicity and the timing of that was so perfect and so beautiful and so magical. We were able to go home and see it. Well, Stephen's already seen it. He's camped in it multiple times. I had never seen it, and I was able to go see it over winter break. Or not winter break. I'm still in that teacher mindset. Over Christmas time when we went home and visited family, and it was just honestly so surreal to go and see it and be like, wow, we are going to live in this. And it just takes me back to when I was a little girl and I used to watch RV shows on the Travel Channel. And it's just funny how things just come back around. And again, I just love how beautifully this has flowed. So We don't have the RV officially yet, like in our possession, but we are flying home in June. I think my flight home is June 9th. We're going home to the Midwest for like a month and a half. Stephen has to do some small updates to the RV, like installing solar and updating the power bank and some other things that I should know more about. But, I'm just kind of here along for the ride, and we're going to hang out with family and officially get on the road the end of July, right around Arlo's birthday, his first birthday. So yes, we are taking a 1-year-old with us to live full-time RV life. When I say that out loud, sometimes I'm like, wow, like that's a lot, Lindsay. And I'm just very excited to just experience this. And one of our main goals is to do this and just slow down. So as I mentioned, I'm kind of hopping here, there, and everywhere. So hopefully you guys don't mind this format. Like I said, this is very off the cuff. Just want to update you on all the things. So we are quitting our jobs, which is hard to believe. And that is also something I've been manifesting for a long time. I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've been given, and I've learned so much in my career. 5 years as a teacher, and then I guess almost 4 years in my job now. My job kind of has changed over the time I've been in this role, but basically I help develop curriculum for the schools that I used to work for. So I've seen like the back end of education, and I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful because it has given me the skills that I've needed to do what I'm doing now, to talk to all of you in this podcast format. And I've learned what I needed to learn to go on and do what I feel like my soul came here to do, which is a lot to do with education. And I'm not going to get too much into that now. And I'm just excited to see how that unfolds. But I just have a lot of ideas of things that I would like to bring to education. Because as we know, with a lot of systems in our societies, there's just like things we could improve on, major things we could improve on, right? So I will get into all of that in the future. I have ideas, but no idea how I'm going to execute said ideas. So we'll see how that unfolds. But we are quitting our jobs. So we are doing this like full time. I feel so grateful, and I just want to acknowledge that I do feel privileged to do this, that we have saved our money. We, don't go and spend it on things that we don't need, which I'd like to have Stephen on and talk about money mindset and how we were able to do that, like how we were able to save money and how we're able to quit our jobs and do this full time. So I can give you more details because I've learned so much from him in terms of being more aware of my finances and having more financial literacy and just having more awareness in that area. And I think that's really important. But we're quitting our jobs and we're doing this full time, and it's just going to be, I can't imagine what that's going to feel like when we are just finally on the road and we have nowhere to be except where we plan to be and where we want to be. And our goal is really to just slow down. When we did our first van trip in the Pacific Northwest, we had to go pretty fast because we just had a little bit over a week and so much to see, which it ended up working out because we were able to see all the things we wanted to in that little over a week. And that was such a fun trip. But what I'm looking forward to in this adventure, this next step, is just slowing down. We have a lot of places we want to go, but we're going to go to a place and just stay there for a while. And especially with a baby, like you can't move that fast with a baby. They don't do well with being in the car for too long, which luckily we have an RV, so we can get up and move around. I can get him snacks or a bottle or whatever he needs while we are driving. But really our goal is to move a lot slower. And that's something that I've talked about on the podcast a lot here too, is the beauty of slowing down and the gifts we can get from slowing down. And I'm just so excited to take all of you along on this adventure with me. The alignment adventures continue. And of course, I'm going to be sharing everything here on the podcast. The podcast will keep going, hopefully, as long as we have Wi-Fi, which will be sparse. So the schedule for uploading may change, but you better believe I'm still uploading podcasts. I'm going to be sharing things on my YouTube channel, on Instagram, on TikTok. My goal is to not have any of that take away from me being present. So I don't know what that's going to look like specifically. And it's funny because I'm observing my mind right now, and my mind wants to have that all figured out. Like, okay, what are you going to be sharing on YouTube or on the podcast? And I really don't know until that moment. But my number one priority is always being present in my life, right? In this adventure that I am so excited to go on. So incredibly grateful to be going on this adventure and to be present with my family and to enjoy this. I just feel like this is such a wonderful gift to be able to spend so much time with Arlo at this age. And I hope he remembers, he probably won't remember this. Who knows? I think we hold memories from even when we're in the womb. So he may not think that he remembers it, but I know that this will have such an interesting impact on his life and his development, hopefully a positive one. That is always what we're trying to do, right? As parents, we just try our best with what we have. And a lot of people are asking us too, like, what are you going to do after those 6 months or so? And guys, I honestly have no idea. And I love having no idea. I think that we should allow ourselves to just be in the unknown sometimes. And I know that's scary for the mind. We've talked about that time and time again, how our mind doesn't like the unknown. It wants to plan, it wants to know, even though nothing is known, right? Even when we plan, it's still unknown. But I have learned to really like being in the unknown, and I've really found it fun. And so many of the things I'm doing now, like I was just telling my mom, she was here for a week, which was so fun to have her here one last time when we went to some of our favorite places in Arizona. But anyways, I was telling her, I was like, the things I'm doing now, I would have never guessed like 5-10 years ago. I used to not even like camping. Now I'm going to be living in an RV full time, which granted, that is different than tent camping. It is a little bit more luxurious than tent camping, maybe a lot more luxurious than tent camping. But I never would have guessed that this is what I would have been doing. I never guessed that I would have been living in Arizona. That wasn't even on my radar for most of my life. And I just think it's fun to let life surprise you. Did I ever think I would grow up and have a podcast and be sharing this message with all of you guys, or be in this job that I've been in for the last 5 years? No, all of it's been a surprise, and I love it. I love being surprised, and there's so much beauty and so many gifts in the unknown. So I hope that this episode not only inspires you to go and do the things that you want to do, whether it's living in an RV. I always joke that is either your dream or your nightmare. Some people dream of doing what we're doing, and some people think it would be their nightmare, which I totally respect, and we're all unique, right? But hopefully this serves as a reminder to you that, one, you are a powerful manifester and creator, and what you are manifesting is coming to you as well. It just takes time and space to set those intentions and then release. The how is not your job. The way that this panned out, I would have never guessed that it would have happened this way, really, and so smoothly, but it has. So hopefully this is an inspiration to you to just keep working towards that thing that you want to do. Or maybe you don't even know what you want to do yet. But of course, just follow what feels fun and exciting and expansive, and find those people that inspire you, and just keep your mind and your heart open. Let life surprise you. So that is hopefully your second takeaway from this episode, is to just stay open and let your life surprise you, and let those synchronicities come to you. A lot of times we can block them by worrying or self-doubt or just being closed off, and just be open to the beauty of life and how it can surprise and delight you in ways that you can't even imagine. Like the things that I will probably do in the next 5, 10, 20 years, I can't even imagine what they are right now. And I love that. I love that I can't even imagine what I'm going to be doing. Yes, of course, I have desires and I have ideas, but I'm not going to be so stuck to those ideas that I'm going to block everything else out of my life. I'm going to stay open and just keep flowing down the river, like Abraham Hicks says, keep flowing down the river and letting life work through me. That is something that keeps coming to me as I journal from my internal guidance, is let life flow through you. And one more thing I want to add really quickly is I hope you never get discouraged when the thing you're wanting to manifest doesn't show up. Like I said, I've been desiring this lifestyle for years, probably since 2020. I feel like that's when a lot of our perspectives changed and a lot of us realized we wanted different things out of life. But it's taken 3 years for this to really fall into place. So please never get discouraged. What you are desiring is also desiring you, and it is working its way towards you. Your job is to just stay in alignment as much as you can, set those intentions, and then get out of your own way. Don't self-sabotage. Don't worry about it too much. I mean, within reason, we're human, right? Things are going to happen. But just let life come to you and do not get discouraged. Let my life in this example be inspiration to you that things just take time. Some things just take time, and I have so much compassion for you if you're in a job that you hate or if you're not getting that thing that you're wanting. So much compassion. Just try to keep moving up that emotional scale. Keep following the little breadcrumbs. Keep following the excitement. And do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on your alignment. As cheesy as that sounds, do not give up on the things that you are desiring, because they are desiring you too. This honestly just feels so good to finally share with all of you, because I kind of keep almost talking about it on the podcast. And I'm like, well, should I talk about it? I don't know. Do all the people know that need to know? Everyone knows now, especially my beautiful and incredible audience now knows of what we are doing in the next coming months. So the month of May really is just going to be spent packing up and getting everything ready. We are renting our house, so that is one way that we are able to fund our adventure, is we are renting out our current home with all the furniture. The details of that are not solidified yet, because that is very interesting how that all works out nowadays. There are many options with renting your house out nowadays with Airbnb and all of that, but that is the plan. We're going to rent out this place. We're going to spend the next month getting rid of things, cleaning things up, packing, and then come the first week of June, or I guess the second week of June, I will be flying home with Arlo back to St. Louis, and then Steven will be driving back with the stuff that we're not keeping here, like our sentimental stuff and our personal stuff that we will not keep in the rental. And then, like I said, we're spending the month of June and most of July back in the Midwest. We have a wedding to go to. We're going to celebrate Arlo's birthday a little bit earlier, which I have such a cute theme for that. I can't wait to share that on all the social media stuff. Which, again, I struggle with social media recently. I don't feel like I'm on there as much as I used to be, just because trying to be present in your life, but also sharing the things that you feel called to share. Such a delicate balance. But anyways, I will be sharing this trip on social media. Don't you worry. Even though we probably won't have service a lot of times, but when we do, I will share as much as I can. And then we are officially getting on the road, I think July 18th or somewhere around there. And the first stop is going to be up through the Dakotas, and then through Montana, and then to Yellowstone and the Teton areas, and then down through Colorado and New Mexico. And my one requirement is we have to be in New Mexico for October, because there is a total solar eclipse, and it is passing through New Mexico right around that time. And you guys know that October is like my sacred month. So I'm so excited that I get to witness a total solar eclipse. There was one right when I moved to Arizona, and of course I missed it. It was like a total solar eclipse in the Midwest where I used to live, and then I moved to Arizona and I was not in the path of totality, and I was so bummed, and it just kind of contributed to my sadness when I first moved to Arizona. That's a whole nother topic, just the journey I've been on here in Arizona, moving out by myself, and then Steven joining me a year later, and just all the growth we've had here. So that's the plan, and I'm just so excited to continue to share it with you all, and I hope I can just be an example of someone following their internal guidance, letting life flow through them and to them, and, just following those nudges and seeing what magic and synchronicities unfold. So please share any takeaways you have with me over on Instagram, or any questions you have about what we're doing. My handle is @Lindsay with an A, M Tanner. Share this episode with anyone that you think would find this interesting. Maybe you know people that are interested in the nomadic tiny home, RV, or van life. You can see a lot of people living this way on social media now, on TikTok now. So I feel like it is getting more and more popular, which is good. I think that is also the beauty of social media, is you get to see people living unconventional lives, and it just really helps you expand your awareness and expand your potential possibilities of living. There is not this one linear way of living. There are infinite ways you can live your life, and the beauty is, the best part is, you get to choose. You get to choose how you live your life. And every single day we get to choose with the little things that we do, whether we're listening to our internal guidance or not. And we just get to keep trying again and again and again, and just seeing how things unfold. So anyways, that is all I have for you in this episode. Next week, I'll be back either with some type of aligning topic or an interview. I do have some more interviews coming up if you guys have been enjoying those, and so many other things I want to share, but I just wanted to update you on all the things. So hopefully I included everything. Again, this was off the cuff, zero notes, just sharing with you in the present moment, like we're sitting at a coffee shop with our coffee, talking with a friend. And I love those kinds of episodes. So sending you all so much love, of course, all the highest vibes. I'm grateful for every single one of you. And of course, I will see you next week on Alignment Adventures.